and the whole outside the structure of the volcano, which mainly they are all the same. Okay, the only thing that they make is that they came here to this area to test them, because they thought that this area was the most similar to the surface of the moon. Okay, so this is a moonscape, and this area we have used it a lot for science fiction movies. Just imagine someone, an astronaut, walking along this area. It would be like those science fiction movies. Okay, we have done, for example, the first movie from Raquel Welch, that was 1 million years ago before Christ. It was a movie that was done in the 1900s and 97. That movie, it was done entirely here in the national park. Also, The Planet of the Apes, the first one from Charles Heston, or for example some shots from the movie of Star Wars, and many others. The Clash of the Titans, the remix Clash of the Titans, that was on the cinemas on the 2010. It was also done along the area that we just passed, the Pumice Stone area, that one that it looks like a moonscape. Okay, so if you ever seen that movie, it was only about six years ago. It was done mainly here in the national park. So we do also a lot of advertisings for cars, for Mercedes, Opel, and many Renault, to reach 400, 600, 800, 1000 up to 1200 centigrades of temperature in the magma chamber. So with that temperature, the rock is melted, and that's what we call it, magma. When it's inside in the volcano, we call it magma. When this lava flow is able to come out and create and be spewed out by the crater without any gases or any pressure, we call them lava flow. It's the same material, but when it comes out, we call it lava flow. When it's inside, we call it magma. And if it's and if it comes through a volcanic eruption, thanks to the gases, to the pressures, then we call them pyroclastus materials, like volcanic ash, pumice stone, volcanic bombs. Okay, they are able to adopt different shape. Okay. In this case, a volcanic landscape, wherever you go around the world, there are three types of magma. We have the calco-alkaline, the alkaline, and the tolatic one. Those are the names in the volcanic definition. But in an easy way, we are able to classify them by being basaltic or acid formations. The most of the people, when they go to the north of the island, they see that we have black sand in our beach. They say, oh, it's black because the island is volcanic. Well, it's not true. The whole island is volcanic. That's true, but that's not the reason why it's black. It could be white. Okay? The reason is the chemical composition of their crystal beds. If they are basaltic formations, it means that mainly they are rich in iron and magnesium, and the magnesium give them that black color. Okay? If they are acid formations, they are rich in silica, which give them a white color, like in the pumice stone, and that's the one that we have in the south. So it depends on the chemical composition of their crystal beds. They will get one time. You're gonna feel the change of pressure. It's totally normal. Especially you're gonna feel it in your ears. Don't worry, it's totally normal. It's like when you are in an aeroplane, okay? And your body, it's prepared to equalize and to compensate tea. Because at 5 you want to drink tea. At 5, huh? You boil water, okay? Along the coast of the island, along the coast, water. If you look the map of Tenerife, you can see that it's like a big triangle. Okay, the reason why it's like that, it's because about 20 million years ago, in this part of the Atlantic Ocean, the tectonic plates, the lithospheric plates, the Atlantic Ocean floor, it moved. And when it moves, it cracks sometimes. Okay. Alfred Wegener, he was saying that about 200 million years ago, all the continents, they were all together. And it was only one continent, arc of Mount Teide. The Wanchers, they were living in a Neolithic elemental system, a very primitive way of life. They were divided into two types of race, the Cro-Magnoiden and the Proto-Mediterranoiden. The Neolithic elemental system were people who were living in volcanic caves. They used to cover their bodies with the skin of their goats. They had goats of those days. They knew how to make fire, which was very important for these people. And the most important of everything is that they had their own language. Why is so important the language? Because the language is the cultural level of a civilization. Is a way of measuring the cultural level of a civilization. So these people, they were organized in different kingdoms. Actually, in the island, there were about 9 different kingdoms. We had about 9 origin kings. They were all split along the coast of the island, all over the coast. And the middle part of the island, like for example the national park, there were common areas. We have done a lot of anthropologic and archaeologic finds in these areas, but probably some of the main discoveries they relationate these people with some other civilizations and cultures in South America and Central America. Let's go by parts. The first of all, we had in one side the Cro-Magnoiden, and in the other one we have the Proto-Mediterranoiden. The Cro-Magnoiden, it's a race that comes from the Cro-Magnon. Like I believe that you all know, the Cro-Magnon race, it was established in the middle part of Europe about 35,000 years before our age. These people, they started to move in different directions. It could have been closer to Africa than it is today, making them easier to move from that island to the north of Africa. Anyway, both of them, they were in the northwest part of Africa, in Maghreb, and we know that because the scientists, they have done a lot of anthropologic finds about these people also there. And they were the same ones that we had here in the Canary Islands, so it was a connection. While they were there, they got in touch also with another culture typical from that area. Curious things is that Thor Heyerdahl, he find out that many of the archaeological finds, they were very similar to other cultures in South America, Central America, like the Aztecas, Mayas, or the Incas. And that's very curious when we are living such a far away, and when on those days nobody was able, or at least in Europe, we didn't know anything about America. Okay, so it's very curious to see how many of those archaeological finds, they are